Good morning, everyone. My name is Megan. I am a yoga instructor here at UNT Rec Sports. I am going to take us through a quick 30-minute morning yoga session this morning. So whenever you're ready, you just need a mat today. And if you have a couple of yoga props or yoga blocks or any other props you'd like to use, like maybe a little cushion for your sits bones or a water bottle or something like that, you can go ahead and gather that stuff now. But we'll go ahead and get started here in just a moment. We'll meet standing on the mat this morning. So we'll take a moment here just to kind of settle into our Tadasana or our mountain pose. So you can bring your feet to about hips width distance here, maybe a little closer, a little farther, depending on how it feels in your body this morning. Just take a second, kind of rock back and forth, maybe make a little circle, just kind of noticing where your balance is for the day, noticing if you have any stiffness anywhere, anything you'd like to address during class. And just letting those motions get a little bit smaller. Start to stack your shoulders over your hips, then activate through your core, lifting the belly button in and up. Let your shoulders be heavy away from your ears, and palms can be facing forward or come to your heart center, whichever is best in your body this morning. We'll take a moment here just to settle in, finding a few breaths, maybe even closing down your eyes. How are you arriving on the mat this morning? How are you feeling? Can you allow yourself to connect with your breath? Take 3 more breaths here, just standing. Moving into a few sun salutations, half sun salutations to begin. As you inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, keeping that same engagement we just worked on. Then exhale, hinge your hips, find a little forward fold. So here you can let the crown of your head hang heavy, keep a little bend in your knees, maybe grab opposite elbows, rock side to side, pedal out your feet, kind of rocking your hips back and forth. Just take a few breaths here just to notice what's feeling good in your body, what you'd like to kind of release through the low back and the back of your hamstrings. We'll take 2 more breaths to soften here. With your next inhale, come to halfway lift. So I'll turn to the side for this one. Place your palms on your shins, lengthen through your spine. And we're just aiming to find a flat back here. This feels a little uncomfortable. You can always bring your hands to your hips here. You can keep a little bend into your knees, but really think about activating through the core. So lifting your belly button in and up. We'll stay for an inhale here. And then exhale, float your fingertips down, bend in your knees. Inhale, rise up through mountain pose. Arms can lift up overhead this time. Exhale, draw your palms down next to your sides. So reestablish your Tadasana, your mountain pose, coming back to our standing position. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. We'll go through that 2 more times. Exhale, hinge your hips, find forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen through your spine, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, release your fingertips down. Inhale, rise through mountain pose, arms lift up. Exhale, draw your palms down. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise through mountain. Exhale, draw your palms down next to your sides. Getting into our hips a little bit, we're going to add on to that sun salutation. Moving into sun salutation B this morning. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, release down. Inhale, plant your hands and then step your left foot toward the back of your mat. Lower your left knee down, untuck your toes. Stay here as you exhale and kind of rock your hips forward and back just a moment, kind of finding some length through the front of your left hip or your left hip flexor. And here, if this feels okay, you can stay with your hips sinking towards your right heel. Maybe come onto fingertips here, even bring your fingertips to the top of your knee. Let your shoulders be heavy here, but keep your chest lifted, gazing forward. Take one more inhale. Do exhale, release your fingertips down to the mat if they're not there. And then inhale, lengthen through your right leg. Peel your toes off the mat. Reach your heart towards your right big toe. Fold over your front leg. This is half splits here. We're just aiming to find some length along the back side of the right leg. Take one more inhale. Inhale, bend into your right knee, lower your right foot down, tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee off the mat, and exhale, step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale, come back to our halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Then exhale, bend into your knees, float your right foot toward the back of the mat, lower your right knee, untuck your toes. We're back to our lunge shape. You can take a second here and rock forward and back a little bit. Just kind of getting into the hips here. When you feel ready, let your hips sink down towards your left heel. Chest is lifted here. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release your fingertips down if they were up on your knee this time. Then inhale, lengthen through your left leg. Peel your toes off the mat. You might notice that this side feels the same or maybe a little bit different than your opposite side. It's okay, just take some time to settle in wherever you feel good with your heart reaching toward that left big toe. You can keep a slight bend in your left knee. Mine is bent right now, which is just a little bit difficult to see with this positioning, but it is a little bent here. Take one more inhale here. Moving back to our low lunge shape, bend into your left knee, lower your foot down. Tuck your right toe, lift your right knee off the mat, and then exhale, step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale, press through your feet, rise up through mountain, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, draw your palms down. We'll go through that one more time on each side. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release your fingertips. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Lower your left knee, untuck your left toes. Inhale, let your hips sink low. Maybe sweep your arms up overhead this time, or just keep them on your knee. Wherever you are here, settle your hips and reach your fingertips high or press them into your knee to kind of open through your chest. Let your shoulders be heavy here. Take one more inhale here. And then exhale, release your fingertips down. Inhale to half splits, lengthen through your right leg, peel your toes off the mat. Inhale, walk your hands back forward, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, release your fingertips down, step your right foot back, lower the right knee, untuck your right toes. From here, let your hips sink low and then inhale, reach your arms up overhead or bring them to your left knee. Stay here, sinking low, releasing your shoulders down. Inhale here. And exhale, release your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen through your left leg. Peel your toes off the mat. Stay for an inhale. Exhale. Inhale, come back to our low lunge. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale, rise up through mountain, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, draw your palms down. Meeting in our Tadasana or our mountain pose, we'll take a moment here to reset. We'll add in a little half moon. I'm going to turn toward the front here. We're going to get a little side body stretch going. So take your feet back to hips with distance here if they're not there already. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. And you'll grab onto the left wrist with your right hand, and then reach your left arm up and over, finding some length all along the left side body here. So really press your left hip over toward the left side of your body, roll your top shoulder back, and maybe even take your gaze to the ceiling. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release. Inhale, reach your arms high. Then exhale, we'll switch to the opposite side. Left hand grabbing your right wrist. Send your hips over to the right. Take your gaze up underneath your elbow. Just notice if the side feels the same or different here. One more breath. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, release your palms down next to your sides. Take a moment here and just kind of shake it out. Getting a little bit of twisting happening in the spine. You can let your gaze follow your twist. Let your arms be nice and heavy. We'll take 2 more breaths. Getting into a little back bend. Let yourself come to stillness, meeting back in our Tadasana or mountain pose. As you inhale, reach your fingertips up overhead. From here, exhale, cactus your elbows, take your chest and gaze to the ceiling so you're making kind of goalpost arms with your body. Really important to squeeze your glutes here to press your hips slightly forward. This will protect the low back. Take your chest and gaze to the ceiling for one more breath. As you inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. Exhale, release your palms down next to your sides. Moving into our standing flow for class. We'll start in Tadasana and we'll add in a little chair pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, send your hips down and back, finding chair. Keep your chest lifted here. You're just kind of making a little lightning bolt shape with your body. So as you hinge at your hips, let your hips sink. Let your glutes sink back a little deeper. You're going to energize through your inner thighs here as if you were holding a block or something in between your knees. And then your chest is going to be lifted, gazing up overhead. Arms can be extended or at heart center here. Stay for an inhale. Exhale here, sink lower. Inhale to peel your left heel off the mat and then step your left foot toward the back of your mat. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. This is our Crescent Lunge this morning. Keep your chest lifted high. And then your hips are going to be square towards the front of the mat. So imagine you're pressing that right hip crease back as the left hip crease is pushing forward. Keep your chest stacked over your hips. One more inhale here. And then exhale, take your hands to frame your right foot. We're going to set up for a pyramid pose here. So take your gaze towards your left big toe. Step your left foot forward about 6 inches and then lower your left heel down. So here we kind of have a warrior one leg setup. It's a little bit narrower of a stance if you're familiar with warrior one. Start to press your right hip crease back, left hip crease pressing forward so you can lengthen through your right leg. This is pyramid pose. So here in pyramid, we're getting a little bit of a stretch on the outside of the right hip. Also maybe on the back of the right leg. If this is a little too intense, you can always bring your hands to some props here, some blocks, or even onto your shin. That's also a great option. We'll stay here for one more breath. As you inhale, we're going to open into warrior two. So you'll start to take a bend into your right knee, sweep your left arm up and back, and then right arm is reaching forward. Left foot is going to become parallel to the back edge of your mat. And in my body, I need to sweep my left foot back a little bit to make that happen. That might be for you too. It could be a little different. As you sink into this pose, inhale to sweep your right arm up and back, left arm reaching down, finding reverse warrior. So here we're getting a nice side body stretch to the right side, reaching that right arm up. As you exhale, float your right hand down to extended side angle, reach your right fingertips down, left arm up. You can take your gaze up toward your left thumb or just keep it off to the side here. But here we're aiming to have some length through both sides of your body. So the left side and the right side. So keeping your chest lifted here, pull your belly button in and up to maintain some core activation. And inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, take your hands to your hips. Turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat. Lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, find forward fold. Let your head hang heavy here. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Can rock side to side or just take any motions that feel good. As you inhale, come to halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. Then exhale, take your hands up towards the top of your mat. Pick up your left heel. We're coming back to our runner's lunge. Pressing off your back foot, bring your left foot up to meet your right. Keep your feet hips width distance or together, and we'll rise into mountain pose. Inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, draw your palms down. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale, both arms lift. Exhale, send your hips down and back, finding our chair pose. Keep your chest lifted this time. Maybe bring your hands down to heart center if that feels better for you. Sink low. One more breath. As you inhale, peel your right heel off the mat and then step your right foot toward the back of your mat, coming into Crescent Lunge. Keep grounding through your left foot, reaching your chest tall. Lift the back of your right leg up toward the ceiling. We have one more breath here. And exhale, take your hands to frame your left foot. We'll set up for our pyramid pose. Walk your right foot about 6 inches in, lower your heel down. So your right toes are kind of facing out a little bit. And as you inhale, lengthen through your left leg this time. You can come to the same shape you did before, maybe hands on blocks or your shin. We're just aiming to open through the back of the left leg just a little bit here. Take one more inhale. Exhale here. From here, we have that big motion open into warrior two. So start to bend into your left knee. Reach your right arm up, sweeping it back, left arm coming forward, and then parallel your right foot toward the back of your mat. Let your left knee keep bending. Stack your chest over your hips, and then take your gaze over your left middle finger. Pinch your shoulder blades together here. We have one more in breath. Inhale, take your left arm up, lower your right hand down, reach your left arm up and back, finding reverse warrior. Nice long side body here. Exhale, sweep your left hand down, reach your right arm up overhead, finding extended side angle. So keep lengthening on both sides of your body, keep bending in your left knee. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, hands to your hips, turn your toes to face out. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge your hips, find forward fold. Release the crown of your head down. Maybe grab opposite elbows here. Just take any other shape that feels good. Inhale to halfway lift, lengthen through your spine. And exhale, walk your hands up to the top of your mat. Pick up your right heel. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Keeping your feet hips width distance or together as you inhale, rise up through mountain. Exhale, release your palms down. So we'll take that one more time on each side, a little bit closer to breath to movement. And we'll add in just a couple of things, so watch out for that as we navigate this flow one more time. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, chair pose, send your hips down and back, chest stays lifted. Inhale here. And then exhale, sweep your arms back, finding airplane arms. So here you'll squeeze your triceps together with your palms facing down. Inhale, lift your arms back up. Lift your left heel off your mat. Exhale, step your left foot toward the back of your mat. Reach your arms high, finding high crescent lunge. And we'll exhale, release your fingertips down. Inhale to pyramid pose. Lower your left heel down. Lengthen through your right leg. Bring your chest towards your right thigh. Inhale, bend into your right knee. Open up to warrior two. Reach your left hand back, right arm forward. Parallel your back foot. Inhale, stay here for an exhale. Now we'll inhale to reverse warrior, right arm reaches up. Exhale to extended side angle, right arm down, left arm up this time. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, hands to hips. Turn your toes out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, walk your hands up to the top of your mat. Pick up your left heel. Step your left foot up. Inhale, rise through mountain. Exhale, release down. On the other side now, inhale, arms lift. Exhale, release into chair. Inhale here. Exhale, airplane arms. Squeeze your triceps. Inhale, arms lift up. Peel your right heel off and step your right foot to the back of your mat, finding our high crescent lunge. Inhale to lengthen here. Exhale, release your hands down. Setting up for pyramid, lower your heel. Send your left hip back. Inhale, open to warrior two. Bend in your left knee. Reach your right arm back. Parallel your back foot. Exhale to sink low. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale to warrior two. Exhale, hands to hips. Turn your toes out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, walk your hands up to the top of the mat. From here, plant your hands on the mat and step your left foot back to meet your right. Lower your knees down. Take your knees wide toward the edges of your mat. Then bring your big toes to touch. Send your hips back over your heels. Reach your fingertips forward, finding child's pose. So in child's pose, this is a great opportunity just to release a little bit. So take a few breaths just to relax your shoulders, your jaw, your neck, anywhere you might be carrying some extra tension this morning. We'll take about 3 more breaths here. You inhale, press into your hands, lift your hips, coming to tabletop. Ground yourself with your shoulders stacked over your wrist, hips over your knees. And we'll take a moment to move through cat-cow. As you inhale, come to cow pose, drop your belly low, lift your gaze, tuck your tailbone up to the sky. Exhale to cat, tuck your tailbone down, release your head down, and then tuck your chin. So really press the back of your heart up into the ceiling. Inhale for cow, belly drops low, gaze lifts. Exhale to cat, round through your spine, tuck your chin. One more time, inhale for cow. And exhale to cat. From here, swing your hips to one side or the other so you can come onto a seat. Start kind of moving toward the end of our practice here. You can bring the bottoms of your feet together, let your knees open wide. Either take your hands to your ankles or interlace your fingers over your toes. As you inhale, press your chest forward, bow your elbows out to pull your chest towards your big toes. And let yourself fold over your legs at the last moment here. We're aiming to open through the hips just a little bit more. Release your jaw, relax your gaze, maybe even close your eyes. And take 3 more breaths here. Inhale to press your way back up to a seat. Close your knees together like a book and then send your heels long away from you. We'll take a seated forward fold. So ground down through your sit bones. Start to pull your toes towards your nose. Inhale, take your arms up overhead, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, bring your chest towards your big toes first. So really hinging at your hips. When you can't hinge anymore, then round over your legs. You can grab onto your ankles or your heels, or big toes with your fingertips to pull your chest a little closer to your legs. Or you can just let this be passive, just rounding over your legs as you feel comfortable. Soften here for one more breath. Inhale to press your fingertips down, lift your chest, draw your knees into your chest. And I'll turn to the side here. I'm gonna slowly lower down onto the mat. So reach your fingertips forward. I'm gonna slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time, bringing your knees with you, drawing them into your chest. You can take a moment here to rock side to side or just take any motions that feel good. Maybe bringing your hands to your knees, making a really wide circle. You go one way and then the other. And let yourself come to stillness here. And we'll finish with a little supine twist. So bring your arms out to a T, parallel your shins to the earth, flex through your feet, and lower your knees over toward the left side so they can kind of stack on top of each other. If this is not your favorite twist variation, you're welcome to take something else, something that you feel feels better in your body this morning. Here, can you invite your gaze to soften or maybe close your eyes? You can even turn your nose towards your left elbow or your right elbow, away from your knees. And soften here for 3 more breaths. As you inhale, release, draw your knees back to center, flex through your toes, parallel your shins, and lower your knees over toward the right side, gazing over towards your left elbow this time. Ask yourself what you can soften here. What would feel good to release? And it's okay if that answer is nothing. Just an experiment. Take one more breath here. You inhale, draw your knees back through center, wrap your arms around your shins, giving yourself a little hug. If there's any final postures your body's asking for here before we make our way to Shavasana, this is a wonderful time for those. So perhaps a little bridge pose with your feet planted on the mat, palms facing down and squeezing your glutes to lift your hips up to the sky, or maybe sending your heels up the wall or an imaginary wall, bending your knees a little bit, just finding some length along the back side of the body. Maybe you'll take a reclined down angle with your knees open wide, bottoms of your feet together. Anything that feels good here. We'll have about 3 breaths to move through those postures. And when you feel ready, we'll make our way to Shavasana. And Shavasana is just a moment in class we're going to find some stillness. So I invite you to take whatever shape feels best for you. So that could be with your pinky toes touching the edges of your mat and your knees kind of knocked together. Maybe the bottoms of your feet are together and your knees are open wide. Maybe your heels are just long away from you. You can take your arms out wide, taking up a lot of space. Bring your hands onto your tummy or somewhere in between. We'll just take a moment here to tune in with what's happening around you, finding any sounds in the room, just letting those fade to the background. Noticing what that leaves space for how we're feeling. So noticing how the breath is carrying you into this moment might be a nice way to identify a emotion that resonates with you. So as you rest here in Shavasana for however long you need to, I invite you to take your focus to the breath, become an observer of what's feeling good in your body. As we move to finish out our practice this morning, take your time to wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe rock your head side to side. Just get any wiggles out that you'd like to. Bringing yourself back to this present moment. And slowly making your way up to a seat in whatever way feels good to you. I like to end my classes taking a breath together. So if you'd like to join, you're welcome to bring your hands to heart center. As you inhale, take your arms up overhead. And then exhale, draw your palms back down. Thank you all for joining me for practice this morning. I hope you have a great day.